Ambassador Lisa Thorne adjusted her diplomatic insignia nervously as she stood on the bridge of the UEA Retribution, humanity's most advanced dreadnought. The irony wasn't lost on her. She was supposed to be aboard the diplomatic vessel Harmony, not a warship bristling with enough firepower to glass a small moon. Ma'am, we're receiving another transmission from the Zephyrian fleet. Communications Officer Marcus Chen reported from his station, his voice tight with controlled tension. They're demanding to know why we've brought a military vessel to what was supposed to be a peaceful first contact. Lisa glanced at Captain Rodriguez, who stood rigid beside the command chair, her weathered hands clasped behind her back. The captain's expression was granite hard, but Lisa could see the calculation in her eyes. They both knew the truth that Earth Command had desperately tried to hide from the galaxy's first alien visitors. 3 weeks ago, the Harmony and her entire diplomatic escort had been destroyed. Not by the Zephyrians. They seemed genuinely committed to peaceful contact. No, the threat had come from somewhere else entirely. Long-range sensors had detected massive energy signatures moving through the outer system, signatures that matched no known technology. Whatever had vaporized, humanity's diplomatic fleet had done so with casual, terrifying efficiency. Tell them, Lisa said, her voice steadier than she felt, that humanity appreciates their patience, and that we'll explain everything once we're in secure communication range. The Zephyrian fleet hung in space like delicate crystalline sculptures, their ships elegant curves of bioluminescent material that pulsed with soft, welcoming light. In contrast, the Retribution was a brutal wedge of armored steel and ceramic, her hull scarred from a dozen conflicts across human space. She looked exactly like what she was, a predator among poets. Incoming priority message from the Zephyrian flagship, Marcus announced. They're apologizing for the destruction of our diplomatic vessel. They say they detected the attack and tried to intercede but arrived too late. Lisa felt her heart skip. They know? Captain Rodriguez stepped forward. Put them through. All frequencies. The main screen shimmered, and suddenly they were looking at the first alien being humanity had ever encountered. The Zephyrian ambassador was graceful and ethereal, with translucent skin that seemed to glow from within and features that reminded Lisa of classical sculptures. When it spoke, its voice was like wind chimes. Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Ambassador Sylvain of the Zephyrian Concordat. We are deeply sorry for the loss of your diplomatic mission. The entities that destroyed your ships are known to us. They call themselves the Devourers, and they consume entire civilizations for sustenance. Lisa stepped forward, her diplomatic training taking over. Ambassador Sylvain, I am Lisa Thorne, humanity's representative. We appreciate your condolences, but we must ask, why didn't you warn us? Sylvain's luminescence dimmed with what might have been shame. Because we believed they were gone. The Devourers swept through this region of space over 2 centuries ago. They consumed 17 civilizations before moving on. We hoped they would never return. Captain Rodriguez moved to Lisa's side. How many ships do they have? Ships? Sylvain seemed confused. They do not use ships as you understand them. They are collective entities, vast organisms that travel between stars. When they arrive in a system, they begin by eliminating any potential resistance, then slowly consume all organic matter. How many? The captain pressed. The scanning data we recovered from your destroyed vessels suggests 3. 3 Devourers, each the size of a small moon. Marcus looked up from his console, his face pale. Captain, long-range sensors are picking up massive gravitational distortions at the edge of the system. ETA. 14 hours. Lisa felt the blood drain from her face. 14 hours before creatures the size of moons arrived to consume everything in the system, including the Zephyrian fleet and Earth's first chance at interstellar alliance. Captain Rodriguez, however, smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. Ambassador Sylvain, she said, how much do you know about human military doctrine? The alien being flickered with confusion. Very little. Your species has had no contact with galactic civilization. We assumed you were similar to most emerging species, focused on exploration and peaceful expansion. Most species, the captain said, moving to the weapons console, probably don't spend their formative centuries trying to kill each other with increasingly creative methods. Marcus, signal the rest of the fleet. What fleet? Lisa asked, bewildered. Marcus grinned as he worked his console. Ma'am, the Retribution wasn't sent alone. She's the flagship of Battle Group Omega, 12 dreadnoughts, 18 heavy cruisers, and 42 destroyers. They've been running silent in the asteroid belt waiting for our signal. Ambassador Sylvain's glow brightened with alarm as dozens of new contacts appeared on the tactical display. This is not a diplomatic mission. Lisa looked at the captain, understanding finally dawning. Earth Command knew. They knew the diplomatic ship would be destroyed. This was always the plan. Captain Rodriguez nodded grimly. First rule of human diplomacy, Ambassador. Never negotiate from a position of weakness. We're here to establish peaceful relations with the Zephyrians, yes. But first, we're going to show these devourers what happens when someone threatens humanity's friends. She turned to her crew. All ships, battle stations, target the incoming gravitational distortions and prepare the Nova mines. Let's give these ancient horrors a taste of human ingenuity. As the Retribution's weapon systems came online and the human fleet emerged from hiding, Ambassador Sylvain stared in amazement. You would fight beings that have consumed 17 civilizations? Lisa straightened her diplomatic insignia and smiled. Ambassador, you're about to learn the most important thing about humanity. We might prefer diplomacy, but we're really, really good at war. And we never, ever abandon our friends. In the eon, distant space began to twist as the Devourers approached, but the human fleet was ready. First contact might not have gone as planned, but it was about to become legendary. After all, humanity had come to make friends. They'd just brought enough firepower to ensure they'd live long enough to shake hands.